Picture this. You're in aisle 4 of the grocery store, right? You've got a cart full of groceries, you're exhausted, and suddenly your toddler decides that the blue box of cereal, not the red one, the blue one, is the one they absolutely need today.
Oh no, not the blue box. It's always the blue box.
Always. And within seconds, we're talking 0 to 60, they are on the floor, arching their back, screaming at a decibel level that has every other shopper staring right at you. You feel the sweat prickling on the back of your neck, and all you want is for it to just stop, fast.
Absolutely. Every parent listening right now is nodding, probably getting a little secondary anxiety just thinking about it. Because in that moment, you feel so helpless, right? But what if we told you there are actual proven ways to short-circuit that meltdown in minutes?
Exactly. Welcome to the Rising Parent Podcast. I'm Tim.
And I'm Edna.
And today we are diving deep into an episode we're calling Solving Child Tantrums Fast with Proven Parenting Hacks. We are so excited to get into this one. But before we do, a quick reminder for all our amazing listeners. We drop brand new episodes of the Rising Parent Podcast every Monday and Friday. So make sure you hit subscribe so you never miss out.
Yes, Mondays and Fridays, rain or shine, we are here with you. Now let's get started.
All right, Edna. Tantrums, the dreaded T word. We've been early childhood professionals for over 2 decades now. We've seen it all.
Oh, have we ever. Between the early years of working in childcare and all the families we support in our coaching sessions today, I've lost count of how many meltdowns we've witnessed. And you know, Tim, what breaks my heart is seeing how much guilt parents carry over these moments.
Right, like they're doing something wrong.
Exactly. They think, if I were a better parent, my kid wouldn't be losing their mind over a broken graham cracker. But the truth is, and we say this to every single family we work with, effective parenting is a learned skill. Tantrums are developmentally normal. It's the handling of them that we have to learn.
Absolutely. And that's really my bread and butter when we work with families, the behavioral and communication breakdowns. When parents come to us, they're usually looking for a magic wand. They want a one-size-fits-all trick to make the screaming stop. But we know it doesn't work that way. You have to understand why the brain is misfiring before you can apply the hack, right?
Yes, and I think that's where we should start, the brain. Because when a child is in a full-blown tantrum, their prefrontal cortex, the logical, reasoning part of the brain, is completely offline. It is shut down. The lights are off, nobody is home.
Nobody is home, just the amygdala, the tiny emotional panic button.
Yes, the amygdala is running the show. So when parents try to use logic, honey, the blue box has too much sugar, or we have the red box at home, you are essentially trying to speak French to someone who only speaks Spanish. It's not getting through.
That is such a great analogy. So how do we hack it? Let's dive into our first proven strategy. This is one of my absolute favorites, and it's completely counterintuitive. It's what we call the power of the whisper.
Oh, I love this one.
Right? Because human nature dictates that when someone gets loud, we get loud to match them. It's an instinct. Your kid starts yelling, so you raise your voice to be heard over them. I said stop crying. But what does that do? It just escalates the energy in the room.
It throws gas on the fire.
Exactly. So the hack is this. As their volume goes up, your volume goes down. Way down. You drop your voice to a whisper.
Mm-hmm. It's almost like a pattern interrupt.
Yes. I remember a family we were coaching a few years back. Let's call them the Hendersons. They had a fiercely independent 4-year-old boy, and his tantrums were explosive. The dad was a pretty loud guy himself, very booming voice, and he told us in a session, Tim, I tell him to calm down, but he just screams louder. So we had them practice the whisper technique. The next time the boy threw himself on the floor because he couldn't wear his Batman costume to church, the dad got down on his physical level, that's crucial, get down on the floor with them, and he started just whispering.
What did he say?
He just whispered, I see how mad you are. That is really frustrating. And he kept his voice super soft, super slow. And within about 45 seconds, the boy actually stopped crying just to hear what his dad was saying, because he literally couldn't hear him over his own screaming.
Yes, that curiosity completely overrides the tantrum.
Exactly. He had to quiet himself down to figure out what the secret was. It completely shifted the dynamic. It took the wind right out of the tantrum sails.
I love that so much. And, going off that idea of a pattern interrupt, shifting the environment or the sensory input is another incredibly fast way to stop a meltdown. This brings us to hack number 2, the sensory reset.
Ah, the water trick. You're the queen of this one, Edna.
I really am, because it works. Listen, when a child is melting down, their body temperature actually rises. They are hot, they are flushed, their nervous system is in overdrive. You have to literally cool them down.
Right, physically and emotionally.
Back when we ran the childcare center, we used to use this all the time. I remember we had this one little girl, let's call her Maya. Maya was an angel, but transitions were her mortal enemy. Moving from free play to lunchtime, forget about it. It was a daily Category 5 hurricane.
Oh, I remember Maya's transitions. Wow.
Right? So one day, she is in the middle of an absolute shrieking meltdown, and instead of talking her down, I just picked her up, carried her over to the little sink, and said, "Let's wash your hands. Look at the bubbles." I ran some cool water over her wrists and gave her a damp paper towel to wipe her face.
And it's like magic.
It really is. The cold water triggers something called the mammalian dive reflex. It actually slows the heart rate down and instantly forces the parasympathetic nervous system to kick in. It resets their brain. Maya stopped crying almost instantly, started playing with the soap bubbles, and the tantrum was just over.
It's so simple, but it's brilliant, and parents can use this anywhere. If you're at home, get them a cold glass of water with ice, or hand them a frozen tea there, or even just step outside into the fresh air.
Yes, just stepping outside, the change in lighting, the change in temperature, it jolts the brain out of that negative loop. I was talking to a mom in one of our coaching sessions last week who used this at the mall. Her toddler was losing it in a department store. She just scooped him up, walked out the automatic doors into the brisk air, and said, "Whoa, feel that wind?" He stopped crying immediately.
It's the ultimate redirection. But Edna, there's a caveat here. We talk a lot in our sessions about how we can't just distract them out of their feelings entirely without acknowledging them. Which brings us to hack number 3. Name it to tame it.
Oh, absolutely. Validation is key.
Right, because if we just constantly distract them with shiny objects or cold water, they never actually learn emotional regulation. Dr. Dan Siegel coined Name It to Tame It, and it is foundational to the behavioral work we do.
It is, and it sounds so simple, but in the heat of the moment, it's really hard for parents to do.
It is hard, because as adults, we see the reason for the tantrum as ridiculous. You're crying because I peeled your banana? You asked me to peel your banana.
The peeled banana, the ultimate toddler betrayal.
Exactly. So our instinct is to say, stop crying. You asked me to do this. It's fine. Eat the banana. We try to invalidate their reaction because it's illogical to us. But to them, their world is crumbling. So the hack here is to aggressively validate the emotion, even if the trigger makes no sense to you. You get down and say, "You are so angry. You wanted to peel on the banana, and Dad took it off. You are frustrated."
Yes, just laying it all out there.
And you'd be amazed, when a child feels truly understood, the fight leaves their body. I was working with a family. Let's call the little guy Ben. Ben had huge feelings around leaving the park. Every day, leaving the park was a kicking, biting nightmare. The parents were trying everything, threatening to never bring him back, bribing him with snacks.
The classic traps, yeah.
Right. So we completely pivoted their approach. I told them, next time, don't rush him to the car. Sit on the bench with him while he cries, put your arm around him, and just say, "You are so sad we have to leave. You love the swings. It is so hard to say goodbye to the park." And the mom told me later she did exactly that. Ben looked at her with these big, teary eyes, buried his face in her shoulder, took a deep breath, and walked to the car. He just needed to know she was on his team.
Oh, I have goosebumps.
That is the core of it all, Tim. Connection before correction. We say it a million times, but it never stops being true. You have to connect with their heart before you can correct their behavior.
Exactly, which kind of leads us perfectly into hack number 4. And this is really about prevention, which is the fastest way to solve a tantrum, stopping it before it starts.
Yes, the HALT method.
The HALT method, H-A-L-T. Edna, you explained this one so well. Break it down for us.
I love HALT. It is a lifesaver, especially in those early sleep-deprived months and toddler years where they can't communicate clearly yet. HALT is an acronym. It stands for hungry, angry, lonely, tired. Whenever a child starts showing the warning signs of a tantrum, the whining, the rigidity, the falling apart over small things, before you intervene behaviorally, you just run through the HALT checklist in your head.
It's a diagnostic tool.
Exactly. Is my child hungry? Blood sugar crashes are the #1 culprit of meltdowns. Are they angry about something that happened earlier that they haven't processed? Are they lonely, meaning they're just craving your undivided attention and acting out to get it? Or are they tired?
And 90% of the time, it's hungry or tired. Let's be real.
Oh, 99% of the time. I remember back in the daycare days, right around 11:30 a.m., it was like a switch flipped. Every toy was suddenly an offensive weapon. Every minor bump was a tragedy. We didn't give timeouts, we gave snacks. We had this little boy, let's call him Julian, sweetest kid, but if he was even slightly hungry, he turned into a tiny tyrant. We realized very quickly that his tantrums weren't behavioral defiance, they were purely physiological. Once we instituted a high-protein snack 30 minutes before his usual crash time, the tantrums completely disappeared.
Right, and for parents listening, this means you don't need a complex disciplinary strategy. If your kid is just hangry, you just need a cheese stick.
Yes, a cheese stick and a nap.
It saves so much heartache. But let's say we've done all that. They're fed, they're rested, we've validated their feelings, but they're still digging their heels in. Let's talk about hack number 5, the illusion of control, or the two-choice strategy.
Oh, this is a brilliant one for toddlers and preschoolers, because at this age, their entire developmental goal is autonomy. They want to be in charge. And when we constantly bark orders at them, put your shoes on, get in the car, brush your teeth, they naturally push back.
Right, the power struggle.
Exactly. So instead of making demands, we give them choices. But, and this is the crucial part we always tell our coaching clients, you only give 2 choices, and both choices must lead to the outcome you want.
The illusion of control. It's a Jedi mind trick.
It totally is. A mom we work with, let's call her Sarah, her daughter would have an epic tantrum every night over putting her pajamas on. Sarah would say, "Put your pajamas on," and her daughter would scream, "No!" So we had Sarah switch to the two-choice method. Instead of a command, she held up 2 pairs of pajamas and asked, "Do you want to wear the dinosaur pajamas or the starry night pajamas tonight?"
And what happened?
The daughter paused, pointed to the dinosaur ones, and put them on. Because she wasn't fighting the pajamas, she was fighting the lack of control. By giving her the choice, you satisfy her need for power, and you still get the pajamas on. Win-win.
It's so effective. Do you want to hop to the bathtub like a frog or stomp like a dinosaur? Do you want the red cup or the blue cup? It completely bypasses the part of the brain that wants to argue.
And it's respectful to the child, too. It says, I value your input.
Absolutely. You know, Edna, looking at all these hacks, the whisper, the sensory reset, validation, HALT, and the two-choice method, the common thread here is really about regulating ourselves first.
Oh, wow, yes.
Right? Like, we can't do the whisper hack if we are losing our minds. We can't validate their feelings if we are deeply triggered by their crying. The fast way to solve a tantrum is actually to slow ourselves down.
That is such a powerful insight, Tim. We talk to families about this constantly. Your child's nervous system is going to mirror yours. If you are frantic, anxious, and angry, they are going to escalate. If you are calm, steady anchor, they will eventually tether themselves to you and settle down.
Be the thermostat, not the thermometer. I can't remember who originally said that, but it is the golden rule of parenting. You set the temperature. You don't just react to it.
I love that. And, we want to remind everyone listening that you aren't going to get this right 100% of the time. There will be days where you lose your cool and yell. There will be days where you forget the hacks and just give in. And that is okay. Give yourself grace.
Yes, grace is so important. Parenting is a marathon, not a sprint. We're just giving you tools to put in your tool belt so you feel more confident when the storm hits.
Absolutely.
All right, let's wrap this up into some really clear, actionable key takeaways for our listeners today. Edna, do you want to start us off?
I'd love to. So key takeaway number 1, remember that a tantrum is a physiological event. The logical brain is offline. Don't try to reason or argue with a child in the middle of a meltdown. Use the power of the whisper to lower the energy in the room and create a pattern interrupt.
Perfect. Key takeaway number 2. Change the sensory input. If they are spiraling, utilize cold water, take them outside, or offer a tight hug. Resetting their nervous system physically is often the fastest way to calm them down emotionally.
Yes. Key takeaway number 3, use the HALT method before you diagnose a behavioral issue. Check if they are hungry, angry, lonely, or tired. Fix the physical need before addressing the behavior.
And key takeaway number 4, connection over correction. Always validate the feeling first. Name it to tame it. Let them know you are on their team, even if you are enforcing a boundary. And remember to use the 2-choice strategy to give them that healthy sense of control.
Such great takeaways. I really hope families find these hacks as life-changing as the parents we coach do. It really can shift your entire home dynamic from chaotic to calm.
It really can. Well, that is all the time we have for today's episode of the Rising Parent Podcast. We are so grateful you chose to spend your time with us today.
Yes, thank you so much for listening. We know how precious your free time is, especially as parents.
If you loved today's episode and found these hacks helpful, we have a massive favor to ask. Please take a second to subscribe to the Rising Parent Podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you are listening right now. And if you could leave us a 5-star review, it truly helps us reach and support more families just like yours.
We read every single review, and they mean the world to us. Also, don't forget to visit our website at risingparent.org.
And here's the best part. We want to hear from you. If you have a specific parenting struggle, a question, or a topic you want us to cover, reach out. You can request an episode topic through our website at risingparent.org/podcast, and we will make that episode just for you. Seriously, we build this show around what you need.
We absolutely do. And as a final reminder, we release new episodes of the Rising Parent Podcast every Monday and Friday. So be sure to tune in later this week for more tips, stories, and real talk parenting.
Until then, remember to take a deep breath, give yourself some grace, and know that you are doing an amazing job. I'm Tim.
And I'm Edna. Keep rising, parents.